Hello, my name is Club, and I've been getting comments on my shorts recently about what art supplies I'm using currently. And while I never thought that I would get comments like that, because most of the products that I use are pretty well known, but I thought it was okie dokie. I had enough of answering comments, even though I don't mind it. It gets a little bit tiring to keep repeating the same things over and over. I'll show products that I own from a while ago that I still use today, and then I'll show some of my newer products that I'm using. And so, alright, for most of my time, I've been switching between different pens that I use for my art, because my art style has changed, and since I was a traditional artist first, I had a bunch of different choices basically, but the most used so far has been these Tombow Fudenosuke brush liners. And while you only see one right now, there was another one. This one's the dark green, and the other one is a dark blue. I much prefer the dark blue because it's the hard felt tip, and this one's the softer one. So this one's brush control and strokes are much harder to control than the hard felt tip, which is much easier. I've lost it, so now I'm only using this one for now till I get a replacement for the other one. These ones usually come in a pack of 2, and I even though they're pricey, they're worth the price. But if you're looking for a much cheaper option, I would recommend these Fineliners instead. They come in a pack of 10, and they come with a bunch of different pen sizes. They come with a 0.8, 0.1, 1 millimeter of those cubic pens, the ones that you use mostly for calligraphy. And then they have some small, large, medium sized brushes. While I don't usually use the brush pens for these, I'm pretty sure they're fairly good enough to control. It depends on how you use them and how you practice using them, I guess. But I do use the 0.5 and 0.8 for my lines. The 0.5 for the inner lines and 0.8 for the outer thicker lines. And I would suggest using that one if you cannot get your hands on the Fudenosuke. And while these are like my main 2, there's also the Ohuhu Fineliners, though I don't really like them. To me, they bleed too much whenever I'm using them. That could be because of the liquid inside of them. They are liquid Fineliners. So I personally do not like them. I got them because that's when Ohuhu first released their products in Michael's, but after using them for a bit, I just didn't like them. The only ones I would use were the smaller nibbed ones or the bigger nibs ones if I couldn't find the ones I was looking for. And an old classic that everyone uses is the Micron Fineliners. I don't really like the Micron Fineliners, to be honest. When I was first using them, I would use them for a while, but the ink would run out, I feel like, really fast. Not really fast like the next day they ran out, but like they wouldn't last long. Like a couple months they would last, and not like these where I've only had these for like a little bit. I got this for Christmas last year. I don't know. I just don't like the feel of the Micron. I feel like it's too dry for me. And I feel like the Ohuhu is too liquidy for me. So yeah, these are like in the middle. I like them. There was another brand of Fineliners that I liked, but they're from an Asian brand and it's for mostly comics, and I feel like as well as with the Microns, they dried out pretty fast and I couldn't get them in bulk. Like in a set like this, I had to get them in separately. And I did not like that, but I did like the pen. Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I have it. These are my personal favorite. I wouldn't recommend getting the very, very, very small size, because if you do, they will break on you if you're heavy-handed. I learned the hard way that I was slightly heavy-handed, so yeah, these are very good. I just wish they come in a pack from where I bought them from. I bought them from Jet Pens, and I like them, but they are $3 each if you buy them separately. So yeah, that's a big no-no, but I do like these, so I will put them over here. This is my likes, this is my dislikes. But again, these are my personal opinions. Not everyone likes the same thing I do, and you don't have to like the same thing I do. I'm just stating my opinions. Okay, and then we're gonna go to an honorable mention of pen that I use most often, and this is like my second pen I bought since the first one ran out of ink. It is the Pilot Precise Veracity, I think, fountain pen. Look at that snazzy. I really like these ones because it is something that I use a lot for quick doodles, and whenever I'm feeling upsetty spaghetti, I use it for like anything I want to quickly draw in the moment. And this is the right pen to use, I feel, because I just love it. I love it so much. Even if you're sketching out something and then you color it with alcohol markers, it won't bleed. Just gotta wait for like a day or two. I never really color my sketches with this, nor do I ever. But I use acrylic markers and so on and so on. But these are my favorites. If you don't remember them, let me tell you again. We got the Pandafly Fineliners that are cheap, and you can find them in Target or Amazon as well. And these are very cheap and affordable, but they work well. Cheap is not a bad thing. Stop using cheap as a bad thing. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's not of good quality. It is. And I use them here and there. I don't say I use them often, but I do use them whenever given the chance. And then the ones that I use a lot, that I lost the other one because I used it too much and I misplaced it, is the Tombow Fudenosuke pen. This is the soft brush, but I like the hard brush, and that is what I mostly used up until now. Another honorable mention, but I don't use anymore because they're kind of pricey, Delta Neo Pico line 3. I love these, but I can't find them anywhere in a set pack, so I stopped using them. And then honorable mention is the Tombow Precise Veracity fountain pen. And then ones that are not my particular taste, but you probably might like them, is the Micron Classic pen, and then the Ohuhu liquid fineliner pens. I don't recommend this brand. I don't, because they use AI in their products now, like for like marketing their products. And if you're trying to get the traditional artists favor, why are you using something that they don't like? That's my genuine question. I got this brand of Fineliners a while ago when I had like my third sketchbook, and that was in 2020, I believe. These are the ones that I've used constantly up until whenever these run out of ink. I will switch brands. I do like these because their packaging actually is very cool. If I can do it with one hand. The back snaps on, and then it does like that. So you can pull, put back. Epic. And these are a much finer nib, 0.3. I'm sorry, the camera's blurred and I'm holding the mic, so I have to do this one-handedly. So yeah, I like these. I'll probably change to a much cheaper brand, and I would not buy these right now until they stop it, until they stop using AI in their packaging. Like I don't think this one's AI, because this was before all the AI infected all the companies. And I was thinking, now that I've basically listed all my fine liners, next is to show what brand of markers do I use. Now, for a long time, I would use the same alcohol brand. Since I first bought alcohol markers, these are my first purchase of alcohol markers that I've ever owned, and those are the Hobby Lobby brand of alcohol markers. These are very old. I have had some colors longer than others, and these are personally not the best choice. They're not really the best choice, and I will tell you why. As you can see here, I'm gonna put this down. These are $5, almost $6 each. Almost $6 each. And I have to buy them separately, because if this one runs out of ink, there is no ink cartridge to buy to replace it, and I have to deal with it. And so I bought a lot of these because these were my starters, and I was so infatuated with them that I didn't stop buying replacements. I've only bought like a few replacements and a few new colors, because there's a lot more colors than this, but also the numbering on these colors is a bit confusing, and some of the colors look the same, and overall I wouldn't say this is a good pick for anyone who wants to save money, especially since these are not everywhere in the whole world. These are only available in America, so I wouldn't recommend these, especially because I found out that one of my markers from this set is exclusive to a pack of markers, and so that one I've used for a long while and it's running out of ink, and I'm so very much upset. Here is the color chart, except for these ones on here. These are Copic markers. The reason why I have Copic markers in here is because I needed specific colors for my specific characters that I drew digital art of them, and I wanted to recreate the art traditionally, but I couldn't do that without the exact colors. It isn't a very good choice, I would say. But I do love these markers dearly. I just wish that they came with refills. These alcohol markers do not last that long, I've discovered, and I will show you. This is a drawing I did, I think almost 2 years ago, 3 maybe. I think the date is on the back. No, it's not. Okay, well, I used the alcohol markers, the Hobby Lobby brand alcohol markers, aka Master's Touch, here, and I ran out of ink for the red one. The red is out of ink because I filled all of this. This is a small thing. If I did it on a larger scale, it would run out completely. And it's upsetting because this whole thing was, the whole red background was a struggle. My goal with these is that I want to use all of them before I start using the next alcohol brand of markers that I'm going to show you, because I don't want to waste them. I don't want to throw them away. That is not very good of me to do, and so I want to just waste them by using them all up in as much of traditional art I can. That's why I've been doing the 3 color character challenge before switching over to the Ohuhu brands. I know it's very widely known, and for good reason. This is the set that I got when I was choosing which alcohol brand I wanted to transfer over to, because I've done research for like a few years. I was like, Ohuhu is definitely the one. They have ink refills, they're cheaper, and you can buy individual markers if you wished. And let me tell you that these are way too juicy. As you can see, they have feathered to the other boxes, but again, the feathering is due to this paper. These colors have all the greens that I could have wished for. I love greens, I love blues, and maybe a little bit of reds here and there. I wish there was a bit more different blues, though I like the blues. I wish there was a bit more purple. Some of these colors are from different sets that don't belong to the set of 30 something. So some I've got from, again, the opening of Ohuhu in Michael's, and so I got those sets, and so I put them in here. I wish there was a bit more skin, well, there are some skin tones that I like deeply, but I feel like there's not enough like reds. They're more darker reds than a bright red, say like the ones I chose from here. There's not a bunch of that going on, but I do appreciate the browns, the skin color ones, because if you look over here, minus this, there is not a bunch of skin colors. I have not used this set all that much because, again, I want to finish this set, and so on and so forth. Either way, I want to end this note with another brand that I use. I don't use it often. I only use it for the inner eye highlights or for background colors. If you want to do a full coverage, I would say Ardex is the brand I mostly use. But again, I wouldn't recommend it. I was doing research, but these were also an impulsive buy. Some of these ones have dried out, some have not. But I would say if you want a full coverage, I would find similar cheaper options than Ardex, especially if you're not planning on using them that much. I don't use these that much, but because I don't think I really have the paper that's thick enough to use these, and drawing with acrylic markers, they scare me a lot because my colors don't show. But I hope you guys found this whole thing fun. I'm glad I was able to share what brand I use, and so you guys can stop asking me in the comments, and you guys can compliment my art instead. But no. Again, I have a Ko-fi. If you would be so kind and follow me there, maybe. I do plan on posting stuff. Maybe if I don't post on YouTube, maybe if I take a break from YouTube and drawing entirely, I can post my doodles on there. There is a $3 support tip if you wish to do that. You don't have to, but again, my Ko-fi's there. Follow me. Maybe it's a big maybe. But either way, I'm joining Art Fight. I haven't done Art Fight right now because I'm very busy with editing, and I'm very busy with this channel and another mystery channel that I'm not willing to share right now. And yes, I said it because and that's all. Okay.